Yes.
A bunch of listeners have been sending this in. We talked about a couple weeks ago, it was news in the middle of our recording that Samantha Irvin leaving WWE or left WWE, left Raw. This has been sent. Apparently a user with a name I cannot read on the air on Instagram said, I can't prove it, but I know Ricochet is behind this because he couldn't stay in the big league. And Samantha Irvin replied, I don't like announcing. I'm serious. Announcing was only supposed to be my way in. I wanted to manage. Maybe even become general manager one day.
Oh, God.
But WWE saw no other future for me besides announcer. I love watching the action, but I don't love being an announcer. So like I said, a lot of listeners have sent this over.
Boy. Okay. And we like her ring announcing, and she's very good at it. And she's a personable young thing. She's full of pluck and spunk and all the things that young girls are full of. But did she really think she was going to be I started to say, did she really think she was going to be a general manager? But look at what they did with Ava. But did Samantha Irvin really think she was going to be a general manager without being the daughter of the biggest star in the wrestling business?
You know, this is probably not a perfect comparison, but it's kind of like what happened to Brandy Rhodes. Because she went to, I don't even remember if it was NXT yet. I don't think it was. But she wanted to do something in wrestling. They were hiring.
Oh, yeah, she wanted to wrestle.
Yeah. And they made her the ring announcer, and that was it. That was the way they saw her forever. And, you know, she did a little bit, obviously, when she left. They were never going to let her do anything except that.
Then when she went to AEW, we saw her wrestle. We proved that they were right.
Maybe
so there's that. And that's what I'm saying here is we love Samantha's ring announcing, and she's a very personable young lady, but a general fucking manager. And
now she did say, remember previously we had audio where she said that she was a big fan of yours, that you inspired her. You were so outrageous at ringside. Perhaps this is more of that inspiration. Perhaps she's thinking about you.
She wanted to, I'm sure a lot of women think about me the last thing they do before they close their eyes to go to sleep at night. I have that effect on people. However, she thought she's going to be a manager. Again, look at the fucking roster. There's one manager in the WWE, Paul Heyman. Right? Is there another manager? Am I?
Yeah, Scarlett Bordeaux, or Scarlett. She doesn't have a last name anymore.
Well, fuck, she's just fucking hanging around. She doesn't speak. You know, Samantha would get more television time being the ring announcer than just wandering around like a Scarlett. Paul Ellering? What? I mean, there's not a job there. They have general managers. She's not equipped to be one. They don't have managers. And she probably wouldn't be a good one either. Because unless she's cutting heel promos, why do we need another good-looking girl wander to the ring with another guy for no reason? So maybe that was a case of it wasn't fun to her anymore because it wasn't what she wanted to do, but I don't see how in the world that the WWE as a company would have wanted to do what she wanted to do with her doing it. You see?
I do, and you kind of feel bad. You know, you could tell, you know, I guess it must be tough if you do want to do something in wrestling and you're a lifelong fan, and you get your way in, and then you're told this is it. You're not doing anything else but this.
But you know what? I'm sorry, but you can also look at it this way. Brian Hildebrand was a lifelong wrestling fan, and it was his dream to be a wrestler, and he was a great worker, but he was 5'6" and 140 pounds. So that was completely disqualifying in the days of logic and reason. So what did he do? He tried to be a manager, and he was great at ringside and doing the physical stuff, but he couldn't cut the promo. But then when he became a referee, he was the best referee in the business. Because he was younger and more athletic than Earl Hebner. And he was definitely I'm sorry, Nick Patrick was bigger than the boys. He was, in terms of being a referee that could also help with finishes, take bumps, and help green guys in the ring, he was the best in the business. It wasn't his original choice, but it was what he could do better than anybody else to be in the business he wanted to be in. And Tommy Young was saying, well, Tommy Young started out as a wrestler in Michigan in 1974. And he didn't get very far or go very long. But they had him referee, and he had a talent for it. And then he refereed for the next 25 years, 20 years, until Tommy Rich couldn't wait till after the fucking match for a sociable cocktail and fucking hurt his neck. But it's not always what you want to do. If you want to be in the wrestling business, find what you're good at. Well, that would have been great if I could have main evented the fucking Mid-South Coliseum against Jerry Lawler. But unlike all the fucking talent on the AEW roster, I know when I don't look like somebody that fits that fucking part. So I was a manager, and I was the best in the world at it. If you want to be in a field of endeavor, you can't pick the field and pick your spot unless you're a genetic marvel and all the breaks go your way. You want to be in a business, figure out what you can do better than what other people can do and do that.
The other thing, too, is that even if there were managers, or more managers in WWE right now, there's very little room for anything other than mid-card managers, because if half the top guys are the bloodline, and Heyman's going to probably be with Roman, but there's no manager for the heels right now. You know, who's managing who, and how would they be anywhere near the main event? I don't know. Gunther doesn't need a manager. Cody doesn't need a manager. Punk doesn't need a manager.
But that's, and I'm not saying this applies to Samantha, but in a lot of cases, especially now with guaranteed money, we're going to make this deal with you, and no matter how good you are or bad you are, no matter how great you are or how much you suck, you're going to get the same amount of money. A lot of people just want to do what they have fun doing. They don't want to be in the main event and be on top and make more money because they won't make more money really anyway. Well, in the WWE they do sometimes. In AEW they're not. They're already making too much money. But people now would rather do what they want to do and be in the middle of the fucking card instead of adapt and be in the main event. And the guaranteed contracts have caused that. When if you weren't in a fucking main event, you weren't making the most money you could make, it gave you more incentive to fucking work harder to get in the main event.
Were you recently injured in a car accident?